You have gotten over the entire situation. You have ignored threats or attempts to grasp your attention. You've ignored the smears and the lies. You've healed from the trauma bond. You've gotten over everything. You may or may not have clowned the ever-living hell out of a narcissist who purports to be tough, killer, gangster-like. And once they realize that you have no more care, they don't scare you, they don't have control over you, you're doing the things in life that you have been wanting to do, you've reclaimed yourself, you're moving forward, you're doing the activities that you enjoy because you no longer have any care whatsoever about the narcissist and they have no more control over you. The narcissist's last recourse, especially if they think that they're badasses, tough, their last recourse is to call the cops.
I never fucked anybody over in my life. Didn't have it coming to me. You got that? All I have in this world is my balls and my word. And I don't break them for no one. You understand?
Narcissists can sense when you're done. Narcissists absolutely hate being exposed for who they are. We know this, that they avoid accountability. They are the victim. Doesn't matter what they've done. The narcissist gets upset with you. When you catch them cheating, a narcissist will never trust you again. When you hold them accountable for whatever they have done, they will lie and smear. They will project upon you. The entire narcissistic abuse cycle is based on gaslighting, manipulation, blame shifting, and the destruction of their target's character because they themselves are weak. They have a lack of control, lack of compassion, no empathy whatsoever. But they're always the victim. One of the things about surviving narcissistic abuse, at reclaiming your strength and your character, your personality, who you are, breaking away from the trauma bond, reclaiming yourself, is narcissists will sense that. It's an affront to them. It's an affront to their control, their ability to manipulate. When a narcissist gets to a point where they have no other recourse, right? They know they can't hoover back. They're not going to try and manipulate you again. They're not going to try and come back into your life the way that they always had, using the same tactics they have, because you have shown resilience. You have grown. You are, being yourself on social media again. You're posting things or streaming or putting videos up, or you're yourself once again. They can't stand that. And their last desperate recourse to try and take you down is to use legal abuse. Now, some narcs go straight to legal abuse. As we know, especially if you're married to one, they're going to take you to court and they're going to use smear campaigns, use examples of your reactive abuse while playing a victim, basically showcasing your reactions to them. Narcs love doing that. They'll whip you up and then they'll go out and use any means possible to destroy your character without telling anyone what they have done themselves. But once the narcissist truly understands that you're done and you're moving on in life, like, that is one of the greatest affronts to who they are. And it's even more destructive to their own weak personality than mirroring them or exposing them. Because when it comes to exposure, yes, the narc hates that, and the narc will run from that exposure. They'll live in their world of cognitive dissonance and lies. They're going to run to their flying monkeys, their co-signers, their the other liars around them, and they're going to regurgitate those lies because that's the world that they live in, deceit. But it truly is when you're done. They feel that disconnect. They no longer can feed off your energy. They begin to get desperate. That desperation will lead them to any number of things. And if they are a narc who are not psychopathic, the malignant narcissists, psychopathic narcissists, or narcissistic narcissistic psychopaths, like, they will get violent. They will stalk you to violence. Narcissists who are weaker than that, covert narcissists or narcissistic sociopathic types, they will only engage in some type of physical altercation if they feel they have the upper hand. This is why male narcs beat their wives, beat their girlfriends, keep them living in fear. They're cowards. It's why a female narc will attack a man if they know that that man has morals and standards that won't allow them to put their hands on a woman. Narcs remember everything that you've been through. They catalog it. They depend on that to use in manipulation to keep you traumatized. And once all of those things fail, my brothers and sisters, once you get to a point where they don't matter anymore, and you are beginning to do the things that you love to do, you are showing your personal strength. You are showing who you are. You're doing live streams again with your friends. You're going out with your friends to clubs. You're doing anything that you were showing any part of your personality, your authentic self that existed before the narcissist came into your life. That is the greatest affront. That drives them insane. And so they're going to go to any type of extreme. Remember everything that I have taught you, brothers and sisters, when you are dealing with a narcissist who is going to any lengths whatsoever to keep you caught up in their trauma, to keep you caught up in a cycle of abuse, keep you caught up and feeding them the negative fuel that they need. I mean, once you are just done and they do this, remember the narcissist is a moron. They are emotionally immature. If you are dealing with a narcissist who has a lot of different types of personality disorders, very unbalanced, very toxic, addicted to drugs, recognize that. Recognize that these cowards will go to any length whatsoever, regardless of their own imagery, regardless of how tough they say that they are, how gangster they may say they are. They will absolutely they will call the cops on you. They will use the legal system to try and play the victim while continuing to traumatize you. Keep your head cool. Keep it cool. And if you have been in a situation where you're mirroring or you're, clowning, exposing narcissists, you should have already had a plan in place. These are the most villainous, low-life, deceitful, lying, demonic, just the worst people in the world, the most crap people in the world that will stoop to any level. If you are a good, empathetic, compassionate person, the lowest, most meanest thing you can possibly think of doesn't even begin to graze the levels of sick and demented, distorted reality of evil that these demons will go to, that narcissists, the lengths that they will go to in order to try and regain some type of control over you, their it or thing, in order to keep you traumatized and keep you locked in. I talk a lot about mirroring narcs and stuff, which I believe is valid. I honestly do believe it in certain situations, but that is a step. That is a step I maintain. When healing, no contact, heal your nervous system, get yourself right in the head. If you need that vengeance, go mirror that narc, expose them, clown them, especially if they're giving death threats your way, especially if you know that they're not a psychopathic narc, if they play like they're psychopathic, but they're really not, they're fake, even in that way, then clown them. If you are dealing with a psychopathic narc, then you absolutely should have weapons available or defenses or, protect yourself however in whatever way you can. But when you're dealing with cowards, understand they'll go to any length to try and keep you traumatized and keep you locked in that cycle. And that's when you clown them. So if you choose to clown them. But even then, guys, what a narcissist hates the most is when you don't care anymore, when you have assumed your control, when you've reassumed your authentic self, when you have found yourself again, when you are pushing forward, when you're doing good for yourself. That is what a narc can't stand that. And they will absolutely, and be prepared for this, they will absolutely go to any lengths whatsoever in order to continue the cycle of trauma, in order to keep that negative fuel rolling. Also understand that, Narcissists live and thrive on conflict and gaining negative fuel. They thrive on this in order to regulate their emotions, but also, they've got a lot of games going on at the same time. They're whatever steady, for however long it is, types of relationships they have going on, these things are garbage. They're full of abuse. They're full of toxicity. You know this because you were at some point with a narcissist in a relationship. You understand how that gets. And you're not the only one. Every other person that narcissist is abusing or hoovering around is toxic or has become toxic. So they need to attack one victim in order to regulate themselves, keep the person that they're triangulating or the other person that they're abusing or with or whatnot, the other whatever toxic people, to keep them, in the stable, controlled and in the stable. Removing your energy entirely. Removing it entirely from that situation. Just taking it back, cutting the cord and not caring and letting them stew and destroy and shoot at and just break one another. That is your only real recourse when it comes to protecting your peace. When you get to the point, when you are done, when it's over, when you don't care anymore, and you are really becoming who you were again, that is when the narcissist is going to feel the most offense. You are an it or a thing to a narc. You are an object to them. You are fuel. You are supply. You are not a person. And once the narcissist feels like they have lost control of their thing, they will really begin to freak out. So make sure to keep control over yourself. Remember, you have your advantage over a narcissist is emotional control, logic, and intelligence. Your advantage over a narcissist is that you do not need other people to regulate your system, your emotions. There are several advantages that you have as a being with a soul. You have many advantages over a soulless, demonic piece of narcissistic trash. Always expect the unexpected. Try to plan for it if it comes your way. And understand that the narcissists are clowns. They're clowns. They're clowns. They're clowns. These are sad little evil clowns. They're not tough. If they claim to be tough, they ain't tough. That's the cop callers. Oh my Lord. If you have a narcissist at the point where they are going to insane extremes in order to play the victim, smear your name, because you have reacquired your authentic self, your personal strength, you've won. Keep it real. Keep it pushing. My love to y'all. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And never again suffer them fools. Run!